Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the Megavision Show. Yes, it is. What's the date? I haven't updated the date on the outline. It is
26th.
It's the 26th of November. It's Thanksgiving, isn't it? Happy Thanksgiving!
It's Black Friday over here.
Oh no, Thanksgiving was yesterday. See, I don't know what's going on.
Thanksgiving and also Rachel's birthday was yesterday.
Way, happy birthday to Ray Ray. That's what I'm going to call it from now on.
Great.
I don't know. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody for yesterday, and happy Black Friday to anyone who's running out to the shop and trying to buy a TV or something. I don't know. Does that even happen anymore?
Yeah.
Like, is it not all done online?
Yeah. People are dumb as hell.
Man.
And I will be one of them. I will actually be going out. But literally all I do is I go to Warp Zone, who's been our sponsor for the Dreamcast Marathon, because they have a 20% off entire store, which includes consoles. So that could be amazing. That's how I got my Genesis CD 32X combo one year.
Oh, wow.
Was 20% off those three consoles combined. It was a good deal. So, but no, I'm gonna go. I have some store credit. I'm gonna scope that place out. But also, I go out when it just always works out that like I'll be out there at like 4:00 in the afternoon. So no one is still thriving on the Black Friday madness. That's like when the sun comes up, and it was always fun. It was honestly fun working that day in retail in the GameStop days, because everybody would be like, "Man, I don't know how you guys do it." I'm like, we're on the safe side of the counter, so you don't need to worry about us.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. So, and it was always, it was kind of a party because you'd have to have the whole staff working that day, like it was required. So when it wasn't always insane because we had our game plan down, so it was kind of just like a party, just hanging out with the whole staff and stuff. So yeah.
Yes, I worked in retail before Black Friday was a thing over here, really, because you know. Okay. And so we had
a thing over there.
It is these days. Yeah, it does now. Yeah. For the last maybe 5 years or so, it's been big. Although I think people are getting tired of it.
Today for you guys.
Yeah. So we've had Black Friday. So
weird.
So the company I work for now, we sell mobile phones, but we're online only, which is good.
Yeah.
So we've had our Black Friday sales going for like 3 weeks though.
Right.
Like previous years, we've done it for like
what
1
everybody
week,
does anymore.
Yeah. We realized.
I was gonna say I saw some places online like November 1st is when our Black Friday starts. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna go on there and remember that, but okay, buddies.
Yeah, I've been doing some of the emails and stuff, like from 3 weeks ago, basically saying, "Hey, our Black Friday sales kick off now," and then like, "Do you want a Black Friday deal?" And then more Black Friday deals, and then it's finally Black Friday. Do you want a deal? Like sort of thing.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Speaking of that, though, go to megavisions.net right now because all the stores 20% off. Grab some magazines you've been maybe holding off on, or posters, anything. Everything is 20% off right now. Megavisions.net. If you are watching us live, you can go to that place.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Oh.
There it goes.
Yes, good. Okay, good. Came up in the chat. Lovely stuff. Nice.
So
when is that ending?
Take over. I think it's this whole weekend. I believe it's
perfect.
Through Cyber Monday.
So if I'm very quick and can get this show out.
Shit.
Oh, okay.
Either way, go there now.
Check it out. Brilliant. Cool.
Professional.
And moving on. Anyway, if you haven't guessed, joining me this week, he built this city on rock and roll. It's Scotty Mo. And as always, we have a great show for you. We got some hot and spicy news. We'll be getting, a little later on, we'll be chatting about how. Oh no, I forgot to update the. This has all gone wrong, Scotty. It's all gone wrong.
We built this city.
So we'll be talking about. Sorry, folks, I actually forgot to update the outline here. But we'll be talking about Peter Moore discussing how Sony killed the Dreamcast in a recent interview. There is a ToeJam Earl arcade for just measly $600 that you can get your hands on. And Amazon has shown interest in a Mass Effect TV series. But before that, we'll be getting festive as we play a video game based on the third best Christmas movie of all time. That's right, Home Alone. So stay tuned as we hit some burglars in the face with heavy objects. Good old-fashioned family
controversy.
Fun. Oh, what's the controversy here? Are you saying it's not a Christmas movie?
Then?
Well, what do you think the top three are? Come on, let's have that discussion.
I don't know. I mean, Home Alone's in my... Do you need to hit the intro button or something before we talk about that?
Let's do that. Let's just crack on with the show. Yes. Okay. So Scotty.
I don't
Christmas
have.
movies.
I mean, my in no like particular order. I guess my 5 Christmas movies. We've already started. We started watching them in the beginning of November, honestly. But yeah, Home Alone's in there. Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
Die Hard. We always watch Elf, which I'm not as big of an. I think I missed the Elf boat because I don't care about that movie. It is Rachel's favorite.
Thank you, movie. Scotty. We need to talk more because.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. I think I might have said this before on the show to Chris or something, but okay, I love Christmas movies. I like Will Ferrell. I love Zooey Deschanel. Before she became really famous, I saw her in some other stuff, and I thought she's great.
Yeah,
I love the idea of a human who thinks he's an elf. I think that's hilarious. I don't like Elf. I don't know what it is. I've seen that movie 3 times. I'm like, I don't get it. Why does everyone love this so much? I don't get it. I don't know why.
I don't dislike it, but I just don't think it's as great. And I think also what happened was before I saw it, oh, you froze for me. Did I freeze for you?
No, I was just holding my face very still.
I think what happened also is just another victim of everyone quoting everything from it, and then I finally saw what they were quoting. So it's like, oh, I guess this is funny. I don't know. It's okay, but like, I don't know.
I think maybe maybe I don't hate it, but I think maybe I suffered from that. Everyone was going on about it so much, and when I watched it, I was like, I was just I didn't find it that funny. I think there was one issue I had with it though was part of the storyline, which was around the dad. How the dad sort of started to accept Elf and then sort of hated him again for some reason. I need to watch the movie again. But their family seemed to hate him and then suddenly just started liking him really quickly. And then the dad sort of went off him and stuff. And I was just like, it doesn't seem that natural. Like, they do that a lot in other movies, but there's normally a bigger reason why the dad would hate the elf or whatever. You know, why he'd hate his son, that this weird kid who's just come along and is acting weird. But I don't know, it just didn't seem to work for me. Anyway,
weird kid. You mean full-grown adult that is closer to probably being his brother than his son?
Like the same age. What?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Wow, we went really off track there, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
This is welcome to the anti-elf podcast.
Sorry if I offended anybody.
But we did already watch Home Alone this year.
Nice.
We do not plan on watching Home Sweet Home Alone that Disney put out on Disney Plus. That I did not even know it was called Home Sweet Home Alone until we found it on Disney Plus, because they make that significantly smaller and like above the main title. It doesn't look good for multiple reasons, but
I mean, I can't comment on it because I haven't seen it. I feel like probably should watch it before I comment on it, but at the same time, like I don't.
I just like at this point, it's like, why try? There have been 4 Home Alone movies. Why are you trying to cash in on this on a series that technically hasn't stopped?
Actually,
or on a remake that hasn't.
Have there been 4 or has it been 5? For some reason, I thought there were 5 in my head.
Oh Lord, there might. I know. I remember. I mean, the first 2 are good. First 2 we try to watch every year, at least the first one. The third one I literally only saw because when I could rent it, back in the day, kids, when you could rent a physical movie. On the cover of Home Alone 3, the kid has a yellow Game Gear strapped to his belt. And I was like, oh, a kid like Sega? I'm going to see what this movie's about. And it's not good.
Okay, it's Home Alone from 1990, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, 1992. Those are the only ones you need to watch. But then you've got Home Alone 3, which I remember seeing back in the day and being like, Home Alone 4, Taking Back the House, which I think I also watched and I can't really remember it. Home Alone, The Holiday Heist from 2012, and then Home Sweet Home Alone from 2021. But
okay, the 5th one is about a wedding, and that's all I know. He's not even home alone technically. That's all I know.
It's all nonsense. But maybe this week I'll watch Elf and Home Sweet Home Alone. We'll see what happens.
God, you just hate yourself then.
I do. I'm abusing myself.
More importantly, let's celebrate the first one.
Yes. Woo! Wow,
Nice.
I love it. Oh, that was so good. That was such a good session.
Something. That is a weird little thing, but I like it.
Yeah. Oh, I was loving that. So yeah, thank you for introducing me to this game.
Yeah, Home Alone.
Yeah,
You know, that classic
who'd have
line,
thunk it?
"Holy cow!" That he yells, whatever. But good stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow. Cool. So yes, everybody, we're stopping the chill out game session there. We're actually going to go into the main show now. So we're going to hit the news in a moment or two. But before we do that, Scotty, buddy, what have you been up to this like? What have you been up to for a while? We haven't had you on the show for a while.
Oh boy, I
what have you been
mean,
up to?
I won't go through everything I've been up to for a while, but I'm trying to fix my screens here so everything's showing up correctly on my side. I mean, I've done some stuff, that's for sure.
Yep.
So like let's see here. Grab my Extra Life happened, the final big Extra Life day since I have actually been on here. So thank you everyone. We played Shenmue. That was rough. That game was, I mean, it wasn't bad. I still like that game, but I banked on the chat being my co-pilot, and that didn't really happen a whole lot. So there was a lot of downtime. So to make it interesting, every time you get if you remember how you get a gold can randomly in the vending machines.
No. What?
I made it a game so that whenever I got a gold can, I would put a new hat on, and you can see all my hats back there. So I had a decent amount at one point, to the point that I had that Santa hat.
Was it one on top of the other, hats on top of the other, or just changing hats?
As long as they were on my person, because at first it was on top of each other, and like I had a mask on the side of my face. I don't think. Oops.
Wait, I can change the camera.
No, you can't. You can kind of see all that stuff there, all those hats that I have. But so
all them hats.
But no, it would get to the point where like I eventually got the Santa hat, and I put it on my head, and then I was like, oh, this is hurting my neck, so I just draped it on my shoulder, and so because it was like I still have a hat on. But the game is so slow paced. I forget that it doesn't respect your time as much as the sequel, the second Shenmue. So I got as far as the when you have to get a plane ticket to Hong Kong and you get scammed out of your first try, if you remember that.
Oh yeah, vaguely,
yeah. So I didn't even get to the forklift part. Like I was that slow going, but it was all right. It was still fun because I still like that game. And it was funny because at like an hour and a half after the stream was done, I only streamed for 12 hours. And an hour after that, we got a Facebook donation that put us over 2,000. So we did hit 2,005 bucks for the year. So we beat our goal. So that's really cool. That's the most we've ever raised, which is really neat.
Wow, that's awesome.
So thank you again to everyone that was hanging out that made that possible. You know, whether you donated or not, it's more important that you guys just hung out and supported a good cause. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I was using a guide. Avalee points out I did have a guide as well. I was using that here and there, but just forgot how long things take in that game sometime. And so, but it was still fun. It was still, I'm glad that it did it. And I'm kind of taking a break from streaming because my job is nuts right now. So lots of overtime and whatever, to the point that I don't want that to trail into the streams and me be miserable, you know? So
fair enough. Yeah, makes sense.
But that was fun. More recently though, did see the Ghostbusters movie, the new Ghostbusters movie. Scotty, have you frozen?
on
my side.
Yeah, you just froze.
Hello, I'm back.
Hi there.
Did you see the new one yet?
I have not. But a few people I know have seen it, and they've all said they really enjoyed it. They thought it was a lot of fun, and had a lot of reminiscing stuff about the prequels. Like, what did you think, basically?
I mean, there are unnecessary Easter eggs left and right. Those are kind of fun, but I liked it. I thought it was fine. You cannot recreate the first one. That's impossible. And the older I get, the more I realize that the first Ghostbusters movie might honestly be my favorite movie, because it's always been one of my favorites.
Okay.
Like, well, because, you know, my three favorite actors are Bill Murray, Jim Carrey, and Robin Williams. Okay. So Bill Murray has done amazing stuff. And that is one of his amazing movies where he didn't give a shit about the whole thing. And that's what made that character of Peter Venkman so great. and just that cast, Harold Ramis, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Penny Potts, Rick Moranis, just a killer example of lightning in a bottle. The second one was okay. Did you see the all female one in 2016?
I did. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. What were you going to say? No, what were you going to say? Sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to say that I think that's why I enjoyed this one, because I saw that one, and I want to let people know, if you haven't seen Ghostbusters 2016, which, by the way, it had such a huge backlash that they changed the name before the physical release to Ghostbusters Answer the Call, because no one was standing for the fact they were trying to remake it with that movie and just calling it Ghostbusters. Yeah. That movie is not nearly as bad as people say, but it's not that funny. And like Kate McKinnon, I think, saved it. She was my favorite part of it.
Was she the one who's kind of more geeky and like scientific-y and techie?
She was the nerdy, geeky
cool
for that one.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't care what people say about the chemistry of that cast. It was just stupid. Like a lot of the jokes just fell so flat, and the appearances by the original Ghostbusters felt so forced. Yeah. I didn't think it was respectful to the franchise overall. Yeah. And so, that in mind, I think that's why I like this one as much as I did, because thank goodness the 2016 one existed, so that Ivan Reitman's son saw what not to do with a Ghostbusters movie. So that's one reason I say, if you saw that one, then you're going to think this one is okay, but not only because of that, but it's still there is some, the writing is not the best for some of the script, but I liked the callbacks. I can't say everything that I like, because there will be major spoilers. But I thought it was good. The main girl of it, who is Egon's granddaughter, she steals the show, and she's definitely going to go on to do other stuff, because she was really good. Paul Rudd is great. The Stranger Things kid, Wolf Finhard, which I still do not believe is his real name. But he was pointless. I don't know why he was in that movie. His character was meaningless, aside from starting up Ecto-1.
Probably because, he's semi-famous among the youths these days for like Stranger Things. So it's like, get him in there. Paul Rudd for Marvel fans, him for Stranger Things fans. Let's get them all rolling.
Yeah. Well, Paul Rudd was voted sexiest man of the year. So right, there you go.
Damn right.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. We might even see it again. Like, I plan on buying it when it comes out.
Fantastic.
This is a rare time when I will agree with Red Letter Media. One of them, I mean, they hate everything they watch, but one of them did say that this movie is for people who want to celebrate being a fan of Ghostbusters, which I do agree with, because a lot of it is just the first movie, like almost shot for shot. So I understand why they did that, but they could have done things differently. But it was still okay. I enjoyed it. I had fun, and I will buy it when it comes out as a Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah, because so a couple of things you just said sort of kind of ring true to what some of my friends said. So like, one of them said that basically they're a fan of the original ones, and they're like, I'm not sure how new people will take this, because a lot of the in-jokes just won't make sense, basically. Because if you're completely new to it, he said most of the jokes probably don't work. So he's like, I'm not sure how people would take it if they're brand new to the franchise. And from what you just said then, though, like I say, they also said it's kind of very similar storyline to the original. Is it almost like, I just forgot what it's called, The Force Awakens, where it's almost A New Hope, but bigger? Like, all the main plot points in A Force Awakens are the same as A New Hope, every single bit.
Was Force Awakens the first of the latest trilogy?
Yes, yeah.
Gosh, I barely remember that movie.
Oh, that's the only vaguely good one out of that trilogy, I'd say.
I did not even see the third Star Wars of the latest trilogy, because I was burnt. Disney burnt me out. Like, there was Solo, there was Rogue One, there were 5 movies before there was the last one of the whatever.
A lot better than the second one of the new trilogy, but it's still not great. Like, there's bits of it I was like, this is entertaining, and then it got to the end, I'm like, I didn't like that ending. I was just like, bloody hell, what have they done?
When I saw the second one, and there's that scene where Kylo Ren is psychically connected to Ray somehow or something, and it cuts to him and he doesn't have a shirt on. I burst out laughing, and I was the only one in the theater because he's just like a brick wall of a man. I'm not saying he's ugly, but it was so stupidly random and just pandering to the ladies that wanted to see him without a shirt on that I just could not help but laugh. It made no sense.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, so man. I mean, Back to the Future, the whole trilogy is the first movie twice over. So
yeah,
but yeah. Things can do them right and things can do them wrong. Like if you watch Fuller House, that one is insulting to the audience. The first episode of Fuller House literally cuts the screen in half for some parts to show you, remember this in the first episode of the first season? We're doing it again right now in Fuller House. Like that was like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Do not do that to the audience. Like insult our intelligence like this to say like, this is it. If in case you didn't know, here's the reference we're making. But
I love it.
Yeah. I don't think this movie is for newcomers unless you are children, because there are children now being Ghostbusters.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Also, just talking about the all-female cast one. Yeah. For me, I didn't hate the storyline, but I didn't like the movie, and I think I know why. So I think basically in the original one, each of the characters and actors sort of had their parts. As you sort of said, Bill Murray was kind of the bit kind of sarcastic, kind of didn't really care. He's intelligent, but he doesn't really care about it. You've got Dan Aykroyd, who is actually really intelligent and stuff, and really also excited and eager about stuff. And you got Egon,
he's the heart.
Yeah, like and he's like super geeky and like super intelligent. And then you got Scotty, the every Joe kind of guy, but this one, all of them were kind of smart, but also freaking stupid at the same time.
Oh,
and every scene, one of them had to be wacky. It's like, hey, I was really cool in this scene, but I'm being really stupid now. Whee! Look, I'm on fire or something. It's like, It's like, every scene I was just like, who's going to do something stupid now? Someone's going to do something. And it's like, oh, man.
The only props I give to the 2016 all-female cast one is they at least tried to do new gadgets. Like there was like handgun kind of stylized. Proton blasters. This one has nothing new in terms of tech, which they definitely could have like banked on rather than selling the same things again. But I don't know how marketing is. I don't know, whatever they want to force down people's stockings, this year. So it wasn't bad. I liked it. Emily said Red Letter Media did a good vid on it. They had some good points, but they really do kind of hate everything. But they did have a good idea for a better plot than what actually happened in this movie, I will say. But I don't want to give anything away, even though the trailers kind of tell a lot of it. And I'm not as religious as I used to be, but it really bothers me that when someone quotes Revelation, the book is still the book of Revelation. It's not plural, but everybody always says Revelations, and it's never done correctly in the freaking movie. But whatever. Maybe someone who made this should actually open up a Bible just to fact check. So, but that's I mean, I saw that. I still recommend it to fans. Make your own opinion. Don't let other people tell you if it's good or not. And on a completely different topic, though, or maybe the same thing, Rachel and I have been watching the Cowboy Bebop live action show, and I have such strong opinions on that.
Okay.
If I can shorten it into this, I will say if the theme song. Okay, let me preface this. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime. Okay. It's what I helped introduce anime, that show helped me introduce anime and other shows to Rachel, because she's not really ever been into anime or anything. And Cowboy Bebop is that show is like the least anime of anime shows, but that series has one of the best soundtracks, because it's not just your typical like orchestral or K-pop or J-pop stuff, and it's so jazzy and cool, and they do show a love for music, like with the episode titles and stuff. But like the cast is great. It's got a good boy in it with Ein, the corgi, and it's just fun. And even when it gets serious, it's still relatable, but not so pandering. This live action is so clearly Americanized, and it is if it did, like, if we could watch it without Tank playing in the beginning, without even seeing the words Cowboy Bebop, and if the characters didn't refer to each other as the characters from Cowboy Bebop, I'd probably enjoy this show because it reminds me so much of like Firefly or something else in space, where there's just like, you know, Wild West meets space and stuff. But the writing is so bad. The script is some of the worst stuff I've heard for characters that I feel like I know so well that I can't say a lot because it will give away a lot of plots. But I will say, Julia was a plot device in the original series, and people who have seen the original show know what I'm going to mean when I say this. She is in this too much. She should not be in this as much as she is. Vicious is a whiny bitch. He's like almost Shadow the Hedgehog if he were thrown into this show. And it doesn't make sense. And just like, I will say a couple of pros. I like Faye's new outfit because if they dressed her up in what Faye wears in the anime, she'd straight up look like a prostitute.
Okay.
So like, have you seen the original anime, Graham? I don't know if you're much into anime. I can't remember.
I like some anime that I've seen. It's one of those things I just never really watched it, but the stuff I have seen, I have enjoyed. I know of Cowboy Bebop. If you showed me a poster without the words Cowboy Bebop on it, I would know what that was. But I've never seen it. But I did see the live action thing pop up on like Netflix, and I was like, ooh! And I've seen they've got the series, the original anime on there as well. Is it only one season of anime they did, or
yeah?
Okay, yeah. So the anime's on there. So I basically have added both to my watch list. I'm going to watch the anime first, and then I'm going to watch the live action one. Nope.
I would recommend doing that.
Watch the live action one first, then.
Around.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
It's just going to be one of those things like that because I watched the live action first and be like, oh, I love it. And I see the anime, I'm like, oh,
that's fine. You might like it. It's just like the soundtrack. They straight up use the soundtrack from the anime, which is a great soundtrack, but it doesn't fit with this show.
Okay.
This show is overly violent and overly sexualized to the point where it's like I mentioned how I use the anime to introduce Rachel to other animes, and it also kind of worked because she's a dog lover. So the fact that Ayn is such a main character in the show works well for that. But like, I still will recommend for someone getting into anime, I still will say like, check out Cowboy Bebop. You can watch any episode of that show and still dig it.
Yeah.
I would not use this show to introduce anyone to anything. It's the writing is so the script is so cringeworthy. It's so bad. And I read an article about someone saying that it's Wheatonized script, and what that means. Joss Wheaton, before everybody hated him for learning what kind of person he actually is it's like the characters are talking as if they're just reacting to the scene and not actually having a conversation as those characters. So like all the swearing that Faye does, it's so disappointing because she is like a legit strong female character in the anime show, because of how smart she is, how witty she is, and she gets out of different scrapes and stuff on her own. But this one is like, she's just going to be a sassy tomboy bitch, basically. And it's not, it doesn't, I mean, again, that's because I have what Faye should be in my mind. So I have to just displace that somehow, but it's so hard to do. But it's just like, and each episode is like anywhere from 45 to 50 to almost an hour long. And they try to fit in so much happens and yet nothing happens at the same time each episode, because and I think, I learned this about anime where they had less frames to work with of animation. So a lot of times you're going to see conversations from like a zoomed out, like from above the ceiling fan, and you just see three characters from like top down, they're talking, and it's based on like the actual conversation. Whereas this one has these large shots, but they're walking around and they're talking so much, and it's not as impactful because they're focusing on the environment more in this scene. Like there are some beautiful shots, but a lot of them are like too stylized, and the show, I feel like the show doesn't know its identity because it tries to be overly stylized with these set pieces, but then the script is so goofy and stupid while we're trying to do kung fu at the same time and be cool. Like it's all over the place. So it's so jarring. There are 10 episodes. We just finished the 7th one, so we have a couple more to go. I I've had to stop myself from talking throughout the entire, whenever we watch a show, because Rachel's getting annoyed with me with how much I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, I know how this is going to end. Oh, that's totally differently done than the original show. So I know fans are going to shit all over it. That's fine. Like literally, if it was not called Cowboy Bebop and they didn't have that music and refer to those characters, if it was just something else, which it totally could be. This doesn't feel like it's in the Cowboy Bebop universe. Okay. Like it could be its own thing. And just the characters could be the Ninja Turtles for all I fucking care. And it would still have the same impact in terms of story.
Interesting. Okay. Do you know, or do you think they're going to try and do more than one season of this then? Or
God, I hope not.
Okay.
It's not good.
Oh man.
It's a lot of live action anime is done by a Japanese director or creator. It's so obvious that this is all Americanized bullshit with how overly violent and sexualized it is, that it's just so jarring. And like there was an episode where the credits, like it was on somebody's face in the episode and the credits came up and I just said out loud, I hate this show. I was so mad at how they were doing things and how they were trailing off and like not progressing the story and just trying to make the characters seem witty and fun because they dropped an F-bomb or like call somebody a dick suck instead of like dick sucker or motherfucker or just like some word that doesn't make sense. So,
damn.
Yeah,
okay.
The script is horrible. Makes me sad.
That's so cool.
But I mean, after we're done with this, we're going to just watch the anime again and feel better about it, I guess.
There you go. Nice. Are you going to actually finish the show, do you think? Are you going to do the last few episodes?
I have to. I want to give it a full shot. I'm not a fan of people like not even making it through an episode and deciding the whole series sucks. You know, I want to give the full thing a shot. If it was not Cowboy Bebop, though, if it was called something else, I might like it, or at the same time, I might have already given up on it. So, because it has everything I like. It's got like sci-fi and goofiness and kung fu and a dog that doesn't. I don't even know if I can't say a whole lot about Ein, but he should be in it more.
Man, Hell was here in the chats as sort of said, I'm not big into anime series. I'm more into full feature anime movies like Fist of the North Star, Demon City, Ninja Scroll. But I still found this show so poorly written. So yeah, there's another person who's agreeing with you there.
Are they referring to the anime or to the live action? Because the anime is still decently written. I mean, there's a reason that Adult Swim has been airing it for 15 years, you know. But
well,
yeah, the anime is great. The anime is solid and fun, and has some good. It has good storytelling. And like honestly, one of my favorite episodes is half of the episode Spike and Jet are trying to find an old VCR and like risking their lives to go through like this old rubble and wreckage of a building just to find a VHS player. It's hilarious.
He's saying it's the live action that he's talking about. He hasn't seen the anime, but he'll watch it very soon.
I got you.
So, cool.
Yeah. I definitely recommend doing the live action before the anime if you've never seen the anime. It's just a weird thing, and there's not as much fighting as I wish there was compared to seeing Spike be all smooth and slick and an asshole when he's fighting against bad guys in it. Yeah, I don't know. I could keep going about that, but I'll save everyone the pain.
Anything else? Anything else happening?
Otherwise, I hopped back into Spider-Man on PS4.
Okay.
I forgot that I never finished it because of it wouldn't download my cloud save, and I ended up updating it and getting that to work, and it downloaded because I was like a fourth into, like I was like, I don't know, 10 or 15 hours deep into that thing. I wasn't going to start over.
Yeah.
You know, so no, booted up my save and started that again. So that's been fun because the new Spider-Man movie's coming out soon. And it's just a good game. It's just a great Spider-Man game and just fun to swing around in your web in that game.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I do have a PS4 now. Well, I got it a little while ago. But I've barely played my PS4. I think I've completed one game on it, which was Journey. I don't know if you've played that one. I think it's by this. It's similar.
20-minute game. Good job.
Yeah. Hey, it's more. It's like 4 hours, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is. But yeah, that's the only game I actually finished on it because I haven't really had a chance. I just don't have time to play games so much these days. But that's one game I do want to get. I'm going to try and I'll try and pick it up. And yeah,
right.
It's probably available on
Black
Friday, isn't it? Like cheap.
Oh yeah, I would recommend if you can find like the Game of the Year or whatever edition at this point that has just everything on it for a better
Okay.
price than buying them piecemeal online. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
I guarantee you it's on a Black Friday sale right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, though, I am going to hit up Black Friday a little bit. I mentioned that when we started at the very beginning. I'm just going to hit up our retro buddies at Warp Zone because I have some store credit and they have 20% off everything in the store. And I kind of play it safe, and I don't go out in the beginning of the day. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
Especially with online. There are some online deals I do need to hit up today, though. Might try to get a gaming chair through something.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So do you have? Well, you're using one. Do you recommend that one? Because let me tell you what I've heard so far. Secret Labs was recommended to me. I have seen that on podcasts and streams I watch as well. The Secret Labs company. But then a couple other people said, "Don't do a gaming chair. Go with a nice office chair instead." So I don't really know what to do.
Well, I've heard mixed things about Secret Labs because they're very expensive. They were like the premium brand. My friend's got one. She had a Secret Labs one from years ago, and she said it was brilliant and amazing, but it just basically one day it broke. But it was, she'd had it a very long time. Like, it is one of those things that she's like, it's fine. I've had it for 10, 12 years or something. It's fine. She got a new one and she said, the armrests are good, the back support's good, but the padding on the seat, she's like, my arse hurts basically most of the time. She's like,
oh really?
She's like, I have to have a cushion. And she's like, a gaming chair shouldn't be like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it might be the model she bought. Maybe, I don't know.
It could be. I mean, like, I have a shitty office chair and I have this giant lumbar thing on it, so I definitely think I need one that goes all the way up here so that I can lean back at the same time and type and stuff. One thing I do prefer is not having arm rests, but I think I can take those off because a lot of times I'll be sitting here with a guitar and that's kind of impossible with arm rests. So
so my chair actually goes all the way back.
Oh my! Oh, I would break that in a second. Oh no!
It's also got like a fold-out foot thing, which is you have to manually pull that out and do it. But yeah, I've actually laid back and had a proper nap once before.
I do miss I miss years ago, like in high school and stuff, when I would go over to my dad's. I had my games set up in the basement. And there was just an old recliner that he never used and didn't get rid of. I don't know if I asked him to keep it or what before he moved into this place, but I love just having a big old dumb recliner to play my games in because you just have big armrests and maybe chips in the side or something horrible. Just kick up your feet and just zone out and whatever. I miss that. So next place we live, the goal is to have a recliner for whatever gaming setup I have. But what you just did was like, holy shit, that's almost a recliner.
Yeah, it basically is. Like, not all chairs go that far back, obviously. This chair is not the most expensive at all. It's like not the cheapest brand, but it's like kind of mid-ish, I guess.
Okay.
Well, actually, compared to Secret Labs, it's really cheap. I was going to say that because, this is fine. I've had this I got this at the start of lockdown, basically. So it's over like nearly 2 years old now or something. I'm not going to say it's the best chair ever. It's getting a bit rickety already, I guess, but it's actually quite comfortable. At work the other day, I went into the office. We've got actually pretty nice office chairs at work. We're pretty lucky with that. And I was sitting in the office chair. I was like, I think my chair at home is actually more comfortable than this. I was actually like, I kind of miss this chair at home.
Sure. I would hope so.
I know there's better ones out there than this one. GT player, I recommend them though. I actually think gaming chairs are actually very comfortable because they're quite high up and stuff. It's I guess the best way though is to try and test them out. This one I actually bought online because obviously it was locked down. You couldn't actually go outside, but I have been to some stores where they actually had them in the shops, and I was actually sat there and went, actually these ones are nicer than mine, or this one's not as comfortable as mine, or
that's the biggest struggle is I can't test out a chair I would like to, because I've done that at IKEA, but IKEA doesn't have any good things for this, or like an Office Max or Office Depot. They don't have at all what I'm looking for. So it's a weird.
What about?
I don't know. And I prefer to ask friends and people that are sitting in them what they think of them, rather than just trusting whatever reviews are online.
Oh, is it Best Buy in America you have that sells a bit of everything?
I have not tried to look there, but they could have them.
Yeah, because we've kind of got a very similar shop over here called Curry's. Weird name for no electronics shop, but they're one of those places that sells a bit of everything electrical. So they sell like washing machines and fridges, TVs, laptops, video games consoles, and PCs. But they also sell the chairs as well. And that's where I tested some of them out. I walked in there. And I was like, "Oh, these are actually pretty good." Like, yeah. So,
okay,
maybe Best Buy might do it.
I gotta look around, but I was trying to. That's kind of all I've asked for Christmas, and that could be pricey. So Rachel needs me to pick it out.
Yeah.
And Black Friday sales might be the way to go, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be rushed. I don't know. It's a weird, dumb thing because I'm in this room all day. I need to be more comfortable than I am.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got it, because at the start of lockdown, I was like, my chair I've got right now is not comfortable. I'm here all the time now. I need something that I can sit in to do my work there.
Yeah, I should have done that. Otherwise, though, tomorrow we're going to go check out this Nutcracker Village thing out of town. Yeah, I don't know what it is exactly. It's some sort of holiday thing where they have 180 different nutcrackers, and we're talking like big boys, I guess, that look all kinds of different. There's one themed after the 10th Doctor.
Oh wow! Okay,
or whichever one Matt Smith is. Okay.
I was about to say, ask which one's that, but okay, Matt Smith.
Yeah,
nice.
Don't you know? Isn't he your president or something now at this point? Over there,
should be.
That'll be fun though. Little Christmassy getaway thing. And then otherwise, I got a couple of pickups. Mentioned real quick here. Alice Sisters on the Dreamcast came in.
Wait a second. I'm going to make you bigger. That's what she said. There we go. Right. Okay.
Alice Sisters by the Josh Prod. It's a Josh Prod joint. Some sort of cool little platforming thing.
The camera's a little bit blurry, which is a bit annoying, but
yeah, I have not played yet, but it's let's see here. I think the I'll read you the plot description if I don't destroy the manual trying to get it out here. Okay, here we go. This is the story of Alice Sisters. The big mountain villain captured the mom of Alice and her sister, helped them to save their mother through 28 levels spread over 4 worlds, each with their final villain to battle against. Play alone by switching from one character to another, or cooperate with 2 players to complete each level. Each of the sisters has her own power. Alice can change size by jumping on magic mushrooms. Her small size will allow her to pass through narrow spaces, but be careful because she will not be able to jump very high and very far. Alice's sister can throw balls to repel enemies or break stones blocking the path. Go through the levels and solve puzzles by activating the right lever, the right switches, as well as finding the color keys to open the different doors. Watch out for various enemies like evil bats. That's it. That's the last sentence.
Love that.
So, it says, save your mom from the devil. Yep. What you got to do. So it's a weird little indie platformer thing. Nice. I really liked it. It's gonna focus.
Is it made by Orion? Is that the Orion logo at the bottom? Because I thought the guy behind it's basically a one-man band there. I thought he said he'd stopped making games a while ago. So
I don't know.
Maybe he's back up. Maybe he's up and doing it again. Great stuff.
It's the sort of sequel to Alice's mom's rescue. Alice's rescue something.
Oh, Alice's mom's rescue or something. I think. Yeah.
It might literally be called that. I just remember too many apostrophes in the title. But that was a fun platformer. Definitely made for like speed running. This might be another fun one. So I'm excited to try that out. And then I got the Sonic IDW 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition, which is very cool. Didn't know until after reading the back of it that Patrick Spaziante from the Archie days did the cover. So I thought that was really neat. The art is very good. They did a really good job in the earlier story of like making it look like the old, like I really like how Knuckles looks. He looks like he's straight out of the like Sonic 3 manual or something.
Oh yeah, he does a bit actually. Yeah. Like
so I think they did a good job of I don't know if that's going to show up. It's not going to focus. My camera's going to be a Garbo.
That's a bit better. It's okay.
Yeah, but no, very cool story. That it felt like I was reading an old Archie's comic, honestly, because of the certain characters that show up. And I won't spoil anything. People should watch, or people should check it out. The second story is Sonic learning how to drive a car, written by the McElroy brothers from My Brother and Me fame. But yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Man, that's awesome.
That's me. That's a lot of me.
Okay.
That's me.
So what am I doing? What have I been up to? So
what have you done, Graham?
Continuing my Movember phase. Actually, I'll make my camera bigger. There we go. Let's swap around. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Movember's happening. Weirdly, I have a patch either side of my Mo, which isn't growing hair.
I grow hair that would connect my mustache and beard. So it's just, yeah.
When I had my beard, those patches were filled in with hair. So I don't understand why the Mo is somehow made it go, no, I don't want to grow that. It's like really weird. So yeah, bit surprised by that. But yeah, basically I've gone for the handlebar moustache, as you can see. But it's got 4 days left at the time of recording this. So yeah, and I'm doing it for November. Sort of, if I've mentioned it before, but it's a charity that's sort of a kind of supporting different types of men's health normally. So it's got like mental health, testicular cancer, stuff like that. Pretty good cause. Really good cause. And yeah, if you'd like to donate, you can go to Movember and find my name, Graham Cookson, or donate to anyone else. I don't care. Just donate, do a good thing. If you want to. No pressure. Scotty, donate.
I keep forgetting to. I was trying. I need to do that. I've been meaning to.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll find it. I don't want to try to struggle on my phone during the recording.
No worries. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. But yeah. So that's one of the things I'm doing. Today,
I will say I think you look better either without a beard entirely or with a little bit of scruff. But your beard that you had was getting out of control, sir.
Yeah. So the beard I had before, I kind of started to grow it just ridiculously just for November, for the impact of the shave off. I had no intention to look like that, for any other reason. So yeah, if I grow a beard again, I could
cleaned it up, but it was going like in every direction.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. Actually, before November, I don't know if you saw I didn't put it on social media. Oh my God. I did a skydive like a couple of months ago. So yeah,
what the fuck?
It was for charity. Basically, before COVID hit the world, my company, we sort of raised some money and to do for a lot of people in the office to do a skydive for charity. It was like a tandem skydive, so obviously with professionals. But so this was in 2019. When it came to the skydive, just the weather was so bad. We kept having to postpone it. Then it went to like 2020. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, it went to 2020. I forgot what year we're in. Went to 2020. Over Christmas periods, like over like November, December, January and February, the skydiving's closed because it's too cold and too crap weather over here, basically. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. So they shut down for Christmas period, opened up again in March. We were meant to go at the end of March, and then lockdown happened basically in the UK. So yeah, couldn't go out. And then like they kept saying, "Oh yeah, we'll move your slot till later in the year." Kept getting delayed, basically because kept going into lockdown and stuff. It wasn't a priority, essential work thing at all. So they weren't opening basically.
Skydiving's not essential. You're kidding me.
And how else do they test the clouds out? I don't know. Then this year, we meant to do it at the start of the year, but then bad weather kept happening again. And then eventually, I think it was August or October. I can't remember when it was now. So a couple of months ago, we finally did the jump. It was literally 2 years after we first were meant to do it. And that's when my beard was pretty big, and it was brilliant because at the end of it, because after falling and stuff, when I got down, my beard was like proper like out, just completely. It was so funny.
You should have taken a picture of that.
No, I do actually have photos of it, and I've actually got a video of me doing the skydive as well. I forgot to put it on social media. So that's something I need to do. Maybe after November, I'll just suddenly put up a picture of me with a beard doing a skydive. People go, wait, what? How did you grow a beard?
Yeah. When did that happen?
Yeah. Anyway, oh my God. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
I will never do that. I will never skydive. I have a fear of heights, so I will never do that.
It was the best experience ever. Like, although I will say, going up in the plane was freaking terrifying because they basically, you know, they basically have to go up in a tight circle, just looping around over the airfield area, basically, which is basically just a big field. It wasn't, yeah. There's a sheep in the field next door to it, basically. And as we're going up, we got pretty high. I was like, oh, it's a good height to jump. And then, the guy was just like, yeah. So, yeah, we're about 2,000 meters. We need to go up to 8,000 meters or something. I was like, up another 8,000 meters. I was like, whoa. And, so it's like a tiny little plane. There's no seats in it. You had to, like, sit on the floor, basically, with, you know, your instructor. There's, like, a few of us in there. I was the first one from my group doing it, but they had some solo jumpers as well. But basically, they had this little kind of like shutter door thing, which is made of plastic and held together by bits of metal. So I could see out as we were going up, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
I did not feel safe at all. And there's no lock on it; you just literally lift it up, basically. And we got really, really high. I was like, "Well, I literally can't." Like, you couldn't. The houses are tiny; they're like little ants, basically. I was like, "Oh my God!" And then the three guys who were doing the solo jump basically just all climbed out, and there's like a kind of railing thing they could hold on to on the side. And they were all like standing next to each other. They just all went, ready? And they all gave each other's thumbs up. And then just one by one, they just let go and just vanished. They went, and I was just like, that's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Just these people just disappeared. It's like, this is like, oh my God. And then immediately my guide started shuffling me to the edge. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And like, I had a camera lady with me, and she was like, she got out, she was like holding on the side and like, was like, sort of going, you ready? And I was just looking down going, oh my God. And then like the guy sort of made me he had to like lean back into his chest basically. And then when you fall out, you sort of fall out together. But yeah, it was so much fun. But someone told me, make sure you force yourself to keep your eyes open at the start, because that's one of the trippiest bits, because as you fall out, you do kind of do a little spin quickly. And if you close your eyes, you will miss it, basically. So yeah, I made sure I had my eyes open, so I had this weird sensation of going, whoa.
I would have pissed myself right there.
Oh my God, yeah. But
I'm sure that's part of the training. They say, like, if you pee your pants, it's okay. Did they say that ever at one point or something?
They did not.
Guarantee you people do it. Or maybe they're so scared they just don't even remember how to pee. I don't know.
But it was really good. There's a couple of people in my group who are very nervous, but everyone, when we got down to the bottom, were like, that was the best thing ever. That was so good. The only thing I didn't like was my instructor, he sort of did this thing like a corkscrew where he basically pulled on the thing really tight, so you go really quickly, like in a circle.
What an asshole.
And that gave me proper motion sickness. And he's like, and then we go the other way. And I was like, no. And I was just like, stop it. like genuinely, I was like,
that's how they get their jollies. Yeah.
And like when I got to the ground though, I was really hot. Because when I get motion sickness, I get really, really hot. And I was just like standing there just trying to cool myself down. It was not a hot day either. Like most people wearing thick jumpers, and I was just in my t-shirt going, I'm really, really hot. I'm about to, if I don't try and cool myself down, I will be sick, sort of thing. I was going to say one more thing on that. Oh yeah, it was quite funny as well, because all the instructors did jokes with their people they were with, like, because as they say, kicking us, like, so you ever done this before? And you'd be like, no, it's my first time. It's like, it's my first time too. Sort of like, you know, right. That's a sort of funny thing.
Me too. Hope we go all right.
Yeah. One of the guys though, his instructor, was his first time doing a jump as an instructor. So it was actually kind of his first time.
His first jump.
Oh, it's not. It's not his first jump, but it was just quite funny because it's like he's never done it with someone attached to him before. So, you know, stuff could have gone wrong. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, that was not I wasn't trying to bring up about the skydive at all. But randomly,
it's all right. I don't think we've ever discussed skydiving on this podcast.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
I think that's okay.
Yeah. Today, I almost got an Xbox Series X, but I didn't. So I think it's the same in America and around the world as well. Basically, PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X's are virtually impossible to get hold of. Like, you know, the stock, I know there's chip shortages around the world. It's just affecting all sorts of things. You know, supply issues all over. Xbox Series S's are actually pretty freely available over here, so I'm tempted to get one. And I was telling Kate this. I was like, maybe I'll get one for Christmas or something.
You should.
Well, I see Chris Powell, the other co-host.
No,
is suggesting
don't ever listen to him for any. Don't ever listen to Chris Powell for any type of purchasing advice. He's the reason I have those 4 goddamn micro Game Gears. No. Because I'm going to tell you why. The S is for like the casual gamer. I said it. The X is what you're going to need because eventually you're going to need more gig space. If you want to save 2 games on your hard drive, the S is going to get filled up right there. Like you need to for the longevity of it, you should get an X.
Okay, but that's my goal, but it's just so hard to get one. I told Kate, might get the S or something because Chris was saying it was good, and she's like, but you wanted the other one, didn't you? I was like, yeah, the X is more expensive, but it's more powerful. And, she's like, well, don't get the S, like get the X. I was like, but
Kate's not even a gamer and she's
and she's been looking like really hard. Like,
really?
Basically in every spare time she keeps looking for it. And I'm like, don't worry about it. Don't worry, it's fine. But today she sent me a message going, Smiths. So Smiths is like a toy shop / they sell video games there as well over here. They're called Smith Toys or Smiths Toys. Spelt with SMYTH. Anyway, they basically. She's like, Smiths has it, but it's a place. It's about a 45-minute drive from where we are. So
she wasn't like at the store.
No. She saw it online. I was like, but you couldn't order it for home delivery. You couldn't order it for collection. You had to just go to the shop and get it. And she was trying to call them to say, can you just put it on lay-by? Like, can you just put it to the side, basically? Yeah.
Do you have a Turbo Man?
She is Turbo Man. But she was like, she basically had to go back to work. She was on her lunch break. So I started trying to call them and it basically would ring for like 2 minutes and it just hung up.
Oh, yeah. You guys are, this is a regular day for you too. Yeah. I forget that.
Yeah. And Kate was like, just go to the shop basically. And I was like, I can't, I've got a meeting. Basically, I've got a meeting I have to be at. So it's like, but I will.
So what time, to kind of set the scenario, what time of day was this for you? Like noon or something?
So yeah, it's coming up to, my meeting was at 12 o'clock until, 12:30 basically. So it was kind of around lunchtime. My work's quite flexible that I can take my lunch break pretty much whenever I want, except when I've got a meeting, And so yeah, I was like, I basically got myself ready. I was like in the meeting, basically with the jacket next to me and like my shoes on and everything, getting ready to go. And they had 3 in stock. So I had 3 in stock at the shop.
And how far are you from the store?
About 45 minutes away.
Okay, so it's a little bit of a hike still for ducking in and out of work anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, my work's pretty good there. If I've got the work done, they're not that bothered if you're spending, an extra half hour out or something. Yeah, is as long as you're available and stuff. Like I could take calls and stuff, I guess, in the car if I need to. But anyway, basically meeting finished. I basically ran to get my keys and stuff, and then just suddenly in my brain went, double check they've got it. Bring it up on your phone just to make sure. Looked on it, it went out of stock. I was like, wait, what? And then went back to my computer where I had the screen up already, hit refresh, out of stock. I was like, no. And there was like 2 other stores that had 1 in stock nearby. They were all gone as well. And my meeting finished early as well.
Everybody else went out on their lunch already.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But I think even if I'd left when, Kate sort of said leave now, I wouldn't have made it anyway because my meeting finished early, like it's only 20 minutes instead of half an hour. It's about a 45-minute drive. So by the time I was halfway there, they'd have gone out of stock, basically. So it's just, but that's the closest I've been because basically, no, I haven't seen a single one in stock since launch day. And like launch day, basically they all went out of stock because everyone pre-ordered it. And I was like thinking, like every other Xbox has come out, you can get one like the next day, basically, if you want to. I couldn't really afford it at the time, so it was like, damn. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, and I hate to be cynical or sound cynical, but you're going to find one, or because same thing I said to Marcin when he was asking us in the Discord, which, by the way, everybody, if you want to join in on fun conversations like this, join the Discord. He was like, does anyone have any pro tips for finding a PS5? And my pro tip was stop searching, stop trying, because then you'll find one. So kind of that's the only advice I can ever give anyone in these types of situations. As soon as you stop looking, you'll stumble upon one probably.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, but
it's there's nothing pushing me. Like I could maybe play Halo Infinite on my PC right now. I need a new CPU though. Because I also needed a hard drive. That's a whole other thing. I've completely run out of space on both my hard drives right now. But if there's anything that would push me to get an Xbox, aside from all the backwards compatibility, it would be Halo. It's got to be an exclusive though, because PS5 I don't even care about. The only thing that would have pushed me to get a PS5 would have been if the latest Resident Evil was only on that. But because honestly, right now, the only games that I buy, like the newest iteration of when they come out, is Sonic and Resident Evil. There's not really anything else I feel I have to have then.
Okay.
So, but just all the backwards compatibility pushes me more towards an Xbox. But the thing is, like, you and Chris and AJ's got such a weird schedule because he works night shifts now that I don't feel like there's anyone that I would consistently play with online. Whereas the PS4, I still use that playing online with some people or for like streaming and stuff. So I can't justify either new system yet.
Yeah,
it's going to need some time, I think, still. So.
Yeah. And I've been playing the Halo Infinite beta a little bit, the multiplayer beta on my PC. My PC's getting a bit old now. Like I can't put Windows 11 on it because the CPU's too old. But I've set all the graphics to lowest spec. It runs really well. And it actually looks really good, even in the lowest setting. So I'm like, I might just get it on PC, because it's actually
okay for now.
Yeah, I mean,
I will. I think they kind of need to do that too, and I think they learned that and that's probably why it didn't look great graphically at first, because they were like, not everyone's going to be able to get an X, not everyone's going to want to get an S and an X and whatever. And if we want to appeal to the entire crowd, we got to make this work on every PC that we can, Yeah. But good on them for doing that. At least I've seen a ton of issues have been happening though with people just trying to run that game on their PC. I don't know if it has to do with Steam or what, but people have had to like go into the game and change settings throughout Steam, or it would like.
My pro tip there is don't download the Steam version. I've used the Xbox app.
I don't even know if it's safe to say that. Oh, that's what you did though, you're saying?
So I use the Xbox app on my computer, which downloaded the game. So the game, through Game Pass on PC, basically. And it runs really well. I've got no issues with it. And my CPU and I mean, it's not like the worst computer in the world. It's a few years old now, though. So in terms of computer worlds, it's, ancient. But it was running literally fine. Literally haven't had a problem running it. I hadn't even tried it setting. I might have actually tried the graphics even higher just to see what happens, but I set it all to low, just thinking, it'll be fine. And it looks good. So maybe I'll try setting the graphics higher and see if it looks better and works still. But
sure.
Yeah.
I will say, as much as I've been more of a Sony guy, because I really have gone back and forth between the companies. Because if we look at each generation, I was at first PS3, but then 360 all the way, because I was playing online all the time, Left 4 Dead and like all the XBLA stuff, Castle Crashers, Turtles, all that stuff. But then kind of went back to PS3 because of just where kind of the Sega Addicts crew was. But then the next gen got PS4, not as soon as I could, but that was what I went with. Xbox One, got it for Halo 5, played Halo 5, and then I was so mad at like the whole UI setup.
Oh, okay.
And trying to, but my dumb, unique Scotty problem was I was trying to stream the XBLA version of Nights into Dreams on my Xbox One through the Xbox One because I didn't have a capture card or anything. But that and other things are such a mess. Traded that in, stuck with the 4. So right now, I'm like, I don't really care about any current thing, but I appreciate what Microsoft has done with their 20 years of celebration with that website, where you can hop on and look at your gamer score and take that virtual tour and stuff. They did not need to do any of that, but it is so cool. And I did that and ran around and I was like, oh yeah, gamer score. How about that? Look at my Chivos. And it's like the game you spent the most time in is Left 4 Dead. I'm like, I sure as fuck did. That's still one of the best experiences I ever had with multiplayer online was Left 4 Dead 2 because my friends and I decided to go. I won't tell the whole story because there's tons of stories. We learned how to like break the game and stuff. I've probably even told you it before, Graham, but like we decided let's go through on hard mode and try to get some Chivos, and it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so it's fun. That virtual tour timeline thing is a lot of fun to go through. See, like, just to relive the game, the gamer days of when gamer score and achievements mattered more than they should have, probably. You know,
I haven't actually done that though. I've seen people doing it on Twitter. I just haven't bothered to do it. I should do it though. Yeah, really should. Yeah,
it's really fun.
In the chat, Averly sort of mentioned that 343 has done well with Halo because Battlefield 2042 it isn't so good. Like he said, I can't run that for anything on my 12-year-old PC. So
gotcha.
Yeah, if you can run Halo on your 12-year-old PC, I think that's pretty decent. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, as I said, it looks pretty good. Like it doesn't look like when I've downloaded the graphics, it doesn't look like I'm losing anything. You know, everything still looks really good and sharp. Like anyway, I'll move on.
As long as it's fun.
Anyway, so yeah, I nearly got an Xbox Series X. That was the whole point of that conversation. And I'll try and very quickly go through some of this stuff.
Sure.
So one pickup that I got is this light's gonna annoyingly get in the way. No, hold on. Let's just try turning it off and see what happens. It's just gonna. Oh, that's a little bit better. So yeah, Demons of Esteborg. I don't know if you've heard of this game or seen it.
I know of it because we talked about it on the site and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, this came today. And really keen followers of the show will know about this game because I've mentioned it before. And that's because I already have a copy of it. I got like a limited edition version of it as well. So hold on a second. Oh no, I can't get the paper stuff off. It's in there.
You're like opening up that was a fancy looking case for that.
Yeah, it's like a limited edition version of it. It comes with some other stuff in there as well. So
I thought you were being presented with a Yakuza knife or something. I don't know.
So yeah, I seem to have ordered 2 copies of this, but then again,
you pulled a pal, huh?
Yeah, I survived, and I was like, yes, and I was like, I really recognise this box. I swear I've actually really got a physical version of this. But you know, I could play this one and keep this one basically pristine. I guess like be a proper collector. Yeah, there we go. And well, yeah, I'll try and be very quick with this one. One thing I've been watching, and I've been watching it previously, but I'm really, really loving it. It's a TV show. It's a British TV show called Taskmaster. Do you have that in America at all? Or have you heard of that show?
I know of it, and I know that it is not Deadpool's arch nemesis.
No, it's not. So yeah, Taskmaster. It's a show in the UK where basically each season they have 5 kind of they're normally comedians, or like just people, or like presenters who can be funny.
Okay.
And so that they're comedians basically, and they are given tasks to do each week, and they all have to do the same tasks basically.
Okay.
But it's just funny. It's such a funny show. So it's that's the best way. That's the only thing I can really say about it.
Why is it called Taskmaster? That doesn't strike me as like this is going to be a comedy.
So it's the guy who actually created the show, and he does all the tasks with everybody. He's basically this minion of the Taskmaster, and the Taskmaster is this guy who's called Greg Davies. He's an actor / comedian in the UK, and he's very tall. Okay. He's a really tall, big guy. He's not skinny or anything. He's just a very big guy. So he's like very domineering, and he actually used to be a school teacher. So he's kind of got this way to be able to be quite aggressive to people and stuff, but he does it in a really funny way. But yeah, the whole thing is that he is the Taskmaster. He's challenging these comedians. The person who's actually created the show is like his little minion, and has like a little, not clipboard, but he's actually got like an iPad basically, like pretending it's like a clipboard. And he'll basically like the comedians they've actually got their own little house and stuff. The Taskmaster house, which the studio owns basically. And each week it's like the things are pre-filmed, and then each week the contestants are in the studio like on a stage basically, and they're watching the clips of them doing the tasks and stuff, and they get awarded points and stuff. And at the end of the series, they get crowned like the winner. Basically, it's just for fun. Basically, that's what it is. It's just for fun. But the tasks are just really funny because they're slightly out there. But it's the brilliant thing is you can kind of do the tasks any way you want to, based on what you've given. So you're given they're given a piece of paper, and for example, it will say, I'm trying to think of a good example. I can't think of one right now. But something like
make a burrito. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be something.
Is it that basic or?
A clip I saw recently was sit on a cake. Basically, that was what it said. Basically, the fastest person to sit on a cake wins.
All right.
And one contestant was like, "Sit on a cake. Where are the cakes? Do you have a cake in here?" And the minion guy's just like, "All the details are on the sheet." And she's like, "Just sit on a cake." And then she's like, "Okay, I'm going to make a cake." And she went to the kitchen in the house. And it's like got all the ingredients there. So she made a cake, like taking like 2 hours to do it. And then she sat on it. And she like dressed it up and stuff. I think it said something like the fanciest
TV, folks.
It's just like the fanciest. It's like also like the fanciest cake gets bonus points or something. And she sat on it and it's like, "I'll stop the clock." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that was good." The other contestants though, one person had like, it wasn't actually a cake, but she had like a snack in her bag that she pulled out and sat on it. And she did it in 11 seconds, basically. She did the task in 11 seconds. Another person made a cake, something that looked like a cake out of paper, and then sat on it. And there was a hidden cake somewhere in the house or on the grounds, basically, and the other contestant found it, and she sat on that as well.
Did she get the most points for finding the hidden one? Or?
No, it was just a little. If you found it, it's good. It's like
show.
I know it sounds so bizarre, but it's so freaking funny. You have to watch it. That's all I can say. It's been going on for about 12 years now or something.
Okay.
So yeah, it's brilliant. Oh, there was one which do you know Catherine Ryan? I think she's either Canadian or American.
I am pretty bad with names. But I'm looking up Taskmaster TV show to see if this is like over here or something.
But there was one where she had to cause drama or something, like cause a scene with drama and film it. So and then she was like, "Okay, I know what to do," and she called up her sister in America and basically said, "Your husband is cheating on you." And stuff, and like she was, and the sister on the phone was like, "What?" So she's like, "Yeah, I saw him cheating on you. I didn't know what to say." So yeah, and the sister was like, "Well, fuck him, because I've been cheating on him for 10 years or something." and she's like, "Wait, what?" And like basically, her sister hung up, and she was like,
"Oh boy,
I need to do some damage control." Basically, she's like, "I'll go." It's just really funny. There we go. That's all I can say. Taskmaster.
It looks like there's going to be an American version. I don't want that.
Yeah. If you can watch it, I think some of the English show is on YouTube. Like the people have done clips of it and stuff on YouTube. So check it out if you can. I think it's very funny. Taskmaster. Yeah.
I can't find. I'll just find. How do I watch Taskmaster?
Okay.
Master.
There you go.
Sounds interesting, but I don't know. I'm super critical of TV shows because they're all a lot of garbage from what in my opinion.
This is one of those shows that I just genuinely love because it's definitely not scripted. It's one of those, like, there's certain bits that are scripted by the Taskmaster and his minion. They're kind of, they have chats and banter. It's kind of scripted, obviously, but the actual stuff the contestants do is clearly not scripted. It's clearly them going.
Reggie Watts is apparently the American host.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime, maybe. I'm not sure how to, like, unless I'm using the Fire Stick and search Taskmaster now or something. I don't know how to properly. I never know what to believe on the fucking internet when it tells me how to watch a show. So,
okay.
Well, just because it's like, oh yeah, it's on Hulu. Oh, and then you go to Hulu and it's like, you need the premium edition that's paid for whatever. I'm like, okay, so it's not on Hulu for me, stuff like that. So
fair enough.
It sounds insane. It might be something fun. Might have to give it a shot.
Yeah. At least try and look for YouTube clips if you can, just to see if you get a little taster of it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah. So, okay, with that, that's the end of, I guess, what we've been doing this week. Let's move on to the news section, shall we?
Sure.
And
2 hours into the show, let's get to the meat of it.
Yeah, that's the meat and potatoes. Here we go. Right. Brilliant. So, yeah, this first bit of news. Did you want to talk about this, or do you want me to go with this one?
We can. I mean, it's the most Sega-related thing we'll probably discuss today. Oh, well, maybe not, but, you know.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Well, basically, former Sega America president Peter Moore has basically sort of said or claimed that Sony killed the Dreamcast. He sort of showed that he's still a bit annoyed about it.
It was not Sony, but whatever floats your boat, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, he's basically sort of, it's during an Xbox Pioneers roundtable, and he basically sort of,
he was the Kolinsky of the Dreamcast, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, he was as far as I'm aware, he's the one who killed it. Basically, he is the one who in a meeting basically said
he can blame whoever he wants to, but he didn't fucking know what he was doing. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, man, and he said the Dreamcast is way ahead of its time, and sadly, it didn't quite make it in the face of the impending PlayStation fudding, which stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That came along, and Sony did it brilliantly. So yeah. FUD is a marketing term, apparently. I've never heard of this. Maybe it's an American marketing term.
I haven't heard of it either, but I'm not in marketing. Yeah. Who knows?
I dabble in marketing in all the jobs I've been in, but I've never heard anyone in the marketing team say that. But yes, it's basically a term associated with creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt over choosing a competitor's product. And Moore believes that Sony's use of this technique is one of the main reasons Sega failed over the PlayStation 2. I don't really believe that.
I mean, I will say that part of the downfall of the Dreamcast was definitely that it did not play DVDs like the PS2 did. That was a big I don't know if it's common knowledge, but Sega basically had to make the decision: do we want a modem in this, or do we want it to play DVDs? You know, and that was one of the I mean, but someone will tell you like that was the smart decision. They came out with the modem. They fucking popularized online console gaming, which
basically
you can argue anything. So I mean, I will say I personally believe that it was not the PlayStation 2 that killed the Dreamcast, that the death of the Dreamcast was on the horizon as soon as the Saturn came out. Like I would not, you know, there's never one sole thing that kills a company. It's got to lead up to a couple of different things, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I think there's various things in this. So I think you're right. I think when the PlayStation 2 came out, because at the time when the PlayStation 2 came out, DVD players were like $500 to $1,000 pretty much. Like DVD players were the new thing. But you could get a games console that's $300 that plays games and DVDs. Like you'd be an idiot not to buy it, even if you just wanted a DVD player, basically. Although trying to play DVDs just with the controller was a bit awkward at times, I think. When I first used it, I was like, what am I doing? That was a huge impact on the Dreamcast, obviously. The fact that in theory the PlayStation 2 was technically more powerful. I mean, you know, you can argue the case that lots of Dreamcast games look better than PS2 games. You know, let's not get into that, I guess. But I think that's all. Yeah. I think you know, games magazines and websites at the time, and I know websites were still quite not really around, but magazines and stuff were basically saying the PS2 is really powerful, Dreamcast is good but not as powerful. I think that meant we put doubt in like gamers' minds and stuff. But the PS2 was the first, I think, was genuinely the first console that non-gamers bought, basically. So it was a wider audience, much wider audience. They'd buy it for the DVD player, but they've got a kid who's like, oh, I want to play games in this. Okay, I'll buy some games. Oh, I'm actually enjoying these games. I'll play these as well, sort of thing. Whereas Dreamcast was just purely, you'd have to be a gamer to buy a Dreamcast, basically, at the time. Like the internet, it had internet capabilities, great, but you know, you could go on the internet and do more stuff on your PC at home, basically. You know,
for sure.
So yeah, it's one of those things. I obviously I prefer the Dreamcast to PS2, but it's but he does go on to, there's a reason why Peter Moore is on this Xbox thing is he started talking about basically after he left Sega, he actually joined Microsoft. And he sort of says that basically the Xbox was almost like the Dreamcast 2, kept the dream alive, as it were. And he said that as the Dreamcast unfortunately faded into the sunset, the baton was passed to Xbox as we started to take off with Xbox Live and believed in this idea of gaming together online. there's still a bit of legacy of the Sega Dreamcast in there somewhere, basically, which I can kind of see. Like, Dreamcast really.
I mean, I can see that, yeah, because they had House of the Dead, they had Jet Set Radio Future, they had
Sega
the next
GT.
Crazy Taxi, they had, yeah. So, but they didn't have the next Sonic that went to GameCube, and that's why I got a GameCube. Like, I went GameCube instead of Xbox. I thought Microsoft was dumb and evil for getting into the game market at the time. So I didn't. But that was childhood Scotty who wanted more Sonic. So that's why I got the GameCube.
Yeah, I really got my GameCube just to play Star Wars Rogue Leader or something, or Rogue Squad, like Rogue Squadron 2, whatever it was called. I can't remember it. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, I literally got the GameCube because Sonic was going to continue on there, and Capcom said the next numbered Resident Evil would be on GameCube. So not much has changed. As I said earlier, the only new games I buy anymore are Sonic and Resident Evil. So
young Scotty.
Here I am.
What a guy. Yeah. But yeah, like, have you got any other thoughts on this? On this,
not
revelation?
Really. I mean,
it's not really a revelation, but yeah.
The same thing happened with the PS3. Is Sony banked a little bit on people hopefully buying a PS3 to have a Blu-ray player because it was arguably cheaper than getting a Blu-ray player, but not $500 or $6 worth getting a Blu-ray player. And gaming machine. So I don't know. It's you can talk about whatever with 2020 vision at this point, but I don't think I think that was a big factor that the PS2 could play DVDs, but I think when the Dreamcast was thriving, so to speak, they were still spending more than they were making. And I am not even saying this as a Sega fan. I will 100% as a nerd say that the Dreamcast was ahead of its time between the VMU, the modem, doing anything online. But the controller was behind 2 steps. Like, if it had one more good year, I think we could have got a better controller. I think the lack of the third-party support was still really strong on the Dreamcast. Yeah. If just Capcom and SNK, but still. Yeah,
well, I don't. There's like Ubisoft and stuff supporting them quite a lot. There's some PC games getting trans. The only real third party support that they suffered from was the lack of EA. Basically, EA took all their sports games off, which were big sellers.
Right.
Most. I know a lot of gamers don't necessarily like the sports games that much, but they're a big seller for like non-gamers. They
weren't bad. Sega 2K Sports were not bad sports games, but people just EA was still better.
Arguably they were the better sports games, the 2K series, but EA's a bigger brand name. They sell more. Madden, Madden in America is a bigger. Over here in the UK, FIFA is a huge franchise, so that's like soccer, normal football. That's over here.
I would even argue that one of the maybe it hurt as much as it helped that so many arcade games were getting put on Dreamcast, because that was when we got as close as we had with consoles to arcade perfect stuff, because they were even adding things to the console versions. But also an arcade game, you just paid $50 to play a half hour, an hour long campaign, so to speak, like Dynamite Cop or something. You can beat that game in 20 minutes, So I think that was strong, but at that point in the early 2000s, arcade ports didn't matter as much as like a full game experience. So I think that might, like we said, it's more than just one reason, but he can say whatever he wants to push the blame away from himself.
Basically.
I don't know him personally. I don't want to say he's a bad guy or anything, but we saw how Kalinske saved the Genesis and his team saved the Genesis. The Dreamcast came out strong. One of the more memorable advertising campaigns I'd say in gaming history, with the 99.99 and everything, but they didn't know how to keep it going. So.
Yeah, and the advertising in the UK wasn't, in Europe and stuff in the UK, wasn't the best at all.
You've said before how it was kind of confusing.
Yeah, because they didn't really show the game. The only game I remember them showing was Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider 4 came out on it, and they were basically had Lara Croft going, hey, I look, basically it's animated Lara Croft walking through a house, basically going, yeah, I look really good and sharp these days. And it was almost like a cosmetics advert, but it was for the Dreamcast. Yeah. It was great. And she's like, yeah, I look so good because of the Dreamcast. And basically we're saying the Dreamcast is the best version to get. It looks better than the PC and PlayStation version. And it was a really good advert. But the other adverts were all weird because they didn't show the games. there was one which it was kind of clever, but at the same time wasn't great. Like there's basically these kids trying to like fire a stone at like a bell in the ocean or something. Like they're like from a beach, yeah. And then like it goes like player 1, ding, and like I missed it, and basically player 2, player 3, player 4, and they all missed it. And then suddenly like from you hear this ping, and basically it goes player 5, and it's like what? Player 5? It's like Sega Dreamcast up to 6 billion players. And it's like so it's kind of like I think if you don't know what a Dreamcast is, you're like what?
Like, so warped in terms of fact because that's like how many humans are on the planet right at that point in time or something. So they're saying like if every newborn hops online with a Dreamcast, you know, then everybody's gonna play and it's 6 billion people.
Yeah, idiot,
you know.
Yeah.
So it's like it's funny. One last thing I want to mention that's interesting to me now is how so many games on the Dreamcast were being released on PC as well, since it was made through Windows and stuff. And that's how Microsoft is going now with the Xbox Series X and PC, isn't it? That's kind of interesting to me anyway. How it wasn't advertised as that ever, but like games like Slave Zero and Half-Life eventually, Quake and Unreal Tournament and all those things were
incoming,
not day and date, but like the same versions were getting released on the Dreamcast as they were on the PC and stuff.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
Yeah,
so it's always fun to talk about and think about what they could have done differently. But here we are.
Cool, yeah. Avuli just sort of said in the chat, NFL 2K was the best. There you go.
There's some good ones on there.
Yeah, there are some really good ones. Anyway. So let us know what you think in the Discord. Yeah. So the next bit of news. Did you want to take this one or let's bring this back?
I don't know. I mean, is there much to say other than this thing exists? Which is cool. But so I can sum it up for us real quick. ToeJam Earl, the Back in the Groove game, the 4th ToeJam Earl game, is getting a literal arcade cabinet, which is really cool and sort of ridiculous if you've played that game because it's like, well, I guess it makes as much sense as like Gauntlet being an arcade game, you know? Because you do run around as much in that and you can just keep going and keep going. So I am not sure how to say their name, but it's II Arcade, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that right? Which confuses me because IIRC, if you're using that to paraphrase something, it's if I recall correctly. So I keep seeing that when I see their name. But it is. So what is this saying? Let's see here. ToeJam Earl Back in the Groove machine is going for a cool $5.99. So yeah, but it's got 128 gigs of storage. So you could probably emulate a bunch of other stuff on it. But this is a collector's item, I would say, more than like everybody that's going to run out and buy the 1-up Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat arcade machine. It is cool that it exists. And if I had an infinite amount of money, I'd grab this thing and throw it in my like, even if you just, it's the artwork is cool on it and everything. Like, even if you put other stuff into it. And I love how they have the speakers at the top to look like it belongs in the ToeJam Earl universe almost. But the idea of it is silly and nobody needs this, but I'd want it if I had infinite money in the space.
I wonder if Chris will get it for the Mega Barn.
Oh my God.
It's the person who would get it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
600 smackaroos for this thing. Would you want it, Graham?
If I had $600 just lying around that I literally didn't need to use, or like didn't have, I didn't need to buy food or something, I'd be like, this is a very cool. It looks really good.
If I could eat this later, then
like for an arcade cabinet, it's really cool. It's pretty unique.
Yeah,
awesome. And I feel $600 for a really good arcade cabinet doesn't sound. In my head, arcade cabinets should be like thousands of dollars, surely. But I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy this. Like,
right.
If I had the choice between this and like the Xbox Series X or the PS5, I'm getting one of those, not this.
Right. Right. Yep.
Or if I had this or the Sega Rally arcade machine, or House of the Dead arcade machine, I'd get those.
I want Sketchcraft. We talked about this forever ago, like what arcade machine we would want. And him and I have the same mindset of I'd have to get an arcade machine that cannot be replicated on a console. So something like you know, but for me, like my favorite arcade games are the on-rail shooters, which I kind of already replicated by having a Sega Saturn with 2 light guns.
Mm-hmm.
But like if I could get an arcade racer and have Daytona in there, Sega Rally for sure. Just everything, every arcadey fun thing like San Francisco Rush.
Oh yeah,
But then but if you ask Corey, Tornado Jones of the team, taking another step further, he wants a Hydro Thunder machine because there's nothing more fun than pulling that freaking lever to do the boost in that game. Like I want an arcade machine that I cannot replicate solely or easily on a console. So I would have to like my ideal arcade in my house would be like 8 Daytona machines next to each other for battling against each other, like Virtua Cop, House of the Dead. If they one up arcade, I've had an okay time talking myself out of needing them. But if they did like a House of the Dead thing that also included like Virtua Cop, Time Crisis, whatever else on there, maybe the Aliens game or LA Machine Guns, I'd have to talk myself out of getting that one.
Right, yeah.
So like
there is one other arcade machine I'd love if I was rich, had the money, it would be the Episode 1 Pod Racer arcade machine.
Oh, geez, yeah,
because like
the thing that's the size of a car.
Yeah, just because the fact that you have to like control it by actually like putting the things to actually.
Yep.
That was such a good experience. I was in the arcade. I came out going, that was awesome. Also, sorry, you just reminded me. There's one called Propellercopter, which I played at Sega World back in London.
Oh, okay.
Back when Sega World was a thing, many years ago. And it's like, Propellercopter or something. You're basically on an exercise bike. Like physically on an exercise bike, and on the character you're controlling was also on like this little gyrocopter type thing, and like the more you pedal, the faster blades would spin. And the whole idea is I think you had to go through like rings in the sky or something. It's very arcadey. This is like Saturn era style graphics.
Prop Cycle,
that might be what it's called, something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see here.
I wonder if I can find it.
Oh my, yeah, this is exactly it. Okay, I'm gonna send you a picture, and you can share it with the internet here. I'm gonna share it in the Discord, so you can throw that up real quick. There you go. I think I found it there. That looks ridiculous.
See if I can.
That looks like a lawnmower.
Oh wow.
Maybe it's just because it's on the top of green. Is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's the cheese.
Okay. Yeah, you got to show the audience, please.
Let's bring this bad boy out. Here we go.
That's absurd. Do you tilt on that thing? Do you like lean and stuff?
From memory, you sort of had to tilt and twist the handle a little bit. I think it had a bit of tilt in it. But yeah, you're just pedaling away. Basically.
Okay. I found
the video
of it.
Oh, there we go. That's what we want. That's where we're at.
Let me make sure this is what we do need though before it. Oh, come on. We don't care about your shit, dude. Okay, yeah, this is it. Prime Time Amusements. Ooh, my gosh, there's 2 of them next to each other. Okay, here you go, buddy. You might have to skim through the video a little bit to actually find the gameplay, but
it's
Jesus.
Okay, right, I'm bringing it up on the screen here.
Like a minute and 20 seconds or so is when he actually starts playing the thing.
There's a little bit.
So this looks absurd. This is ridiculous.
Bring up full screen for this. Yeah, look at this guy. Look at the happy people on the side.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There you go. Oh, I showed a little bit off camera. There you go. Yes, that's kind of weird helicopter. Yes. Oh, you had to hit balloons. Yes. Me and my friend played this at Sega World a lot. I remember going through the cave and stuff. That was awesome.
This is a very Graham game. I'm going to say that right now.
It's so much fun.
and so what you would want to do is add some emulation to it so that you can play that game where you race crazy animals on Dreamcast, right? What was that thing called? That you try to you introduce it to us multiple times. I can never remember the name of it.
Zuzar Vasa.
Oh, well,
Zuzar Vasa.
I don't know how I forget the name of that thing.
Oh man, yeah, that's another game I'd like to get. Prop Cycle. That'd be freaking
Zuzavasa. God bless you.
Yeah. Oh man, wow, yeah. Let's.
So what we're saying is, maybe get this if you have infinite money. Otherwise, save up for your dream machine.
Yep, there we go. And the next bit of news is that
I think we could fly through this pretty quick.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so Amazon has sort of confirmed that they're showing interest for a Mass Effect TV series. And so there's an interview with Deadline, and they were talking about other things, but they sort of mentioned that plans for the Mass Effect show are nearing a deal. So it sounds pretty positive. It's not just like, oh, that'd be cool. It sounds like they're actually in talks. They're going through it and stuff. They're not the first company to talk about doing a Mass Effect thing. So there's some other companies like Legendary Pictures. Well, they once had an idea for a movie franchise for Mass Effect, but they were scrapped. In an interview, Mac Walters, who is he's a Mass Effect veteran, basically, he has said that there's a problem doing a movie because it's got limited runtime on it, and he said that if you're going to tell a story that's as fleshed out as Mass Effect, TV is the way to do it. There's a natural way, it fits well with episodic content. And Amazon have basically sort of said, you'll see us continuing to invest in fantasy genre of all kinds. We have a genre-focused team on the ground in the studios who work tirelessly with our creative partners on those slates, and you can look forward to more, basically. Scotty,
sure.
like, what do you think? Like, what do you think of the not just Mass Effect, the idea of these video games coming to like TV shows, like streaming services like Netflix or Amazon or something as a TV series, rather than movies? Because in the past we've had Resident Evil, Silent Hill, various all that House of the Dead, even like Uwe Boll, Blood Rain, all those sort of movies, all those game franchises been turned into movies.
Gems.
All those gems out there. Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and the new Mortal Kombat. There's lots of movies out there, but there really haven't been any. I can't think of any TV shows based on video games, unless I'm wrong. Do correct me.
Well, a lot of them get turned into animated cartoons.
Okay, other than cartoons, I know there's quite a few cartoons out there based on stuff like Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon's pretty cool. I like it, but
Let me see. I'm going to just literally Google video game TV series and see if any have happened that are live action.
Okay.
But I don't think there are. Oh, yeah. Everything that popped up is a Japanese anime.
Yeah.
Everything. Live action shows. What? Oh, no. These do not exist, you idiots. Apparently there was like Maniac Mansion, Mortal Kombat. There was Mortal Kombat. Halo's finally getting a TV series. And
is it? I didn't actually know that about Halo. I know there was a limited mini.
Did you not watch the Xbox 20 thing, sir?
I didn't watch all of it. I'm not going to lie.
What kind of fan are you?
I can't get one, so I don't want to watch it. God damn it.
That's not. Oh my god.
No, I just haven't watched that Xbox I just haven't.
20 thing.
I honestly just haven't had time this week. It's been so busy.
It's going to be on Paramount Plus because that makes sense.
Because that's the thing we don't have in Europe. Okay, great.
Great, that's cool. God damn. I don't think there need to be TV series about games. There's one coming out, maybe. They've said it. I don't know if it's ever going to happen for Last of Us. And it's like, no. Last of Us is a movie already. That is a cinematic experience playing either of those games. Do not try to split that up into 12 episodes or something. It doesn't, like, the same as like the Uncharted movie doesn't need to happen. Those games are movies. That if this happened like 2 generations ago, maybe like on the 360 or something, yeah, sure, throw it into a movie because I don't know. We're telling still even that I don't know that you would need them. So games are so cinematic that I don't think they need TV or movie adaptations at this point. The reason that we tried so hard back in the day was because how can you tell a cinematic experience with 16 or 8 bits, and that was sort of made sense. But
what about, so for example, a Mass Effect TV show set in the Mass Effect universe, but didn't follow the actual video game, storyline, for example?
That's a safer bet because the fans won't be as upset like I am with Cowboy Bebop right now and stuff. So
yeah, because it's like with Resident Evil movies. Like, I think the Resident Evil movies are fine, but I don't know.
The first one is good, even if you're a fan of the series, because it's kind of like all this is happening in the Resident Evil world. Nothing's tied to it until like the last, or except for the liquor being the monster.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they say Nemesis program. But then the second movie hits and they try to combine 2 and 3, and it's like, this is a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
the third movie, when it came out, when I was watching that in the theater, and there was like stuff in the desert, or maybe it was a fourth, I legitimately, watching this by myself in the theater, was like, oh yeah, I'm watching a Resident Evil movie. Like, I had to remind myself because it was so far gone from that. So, but a new one did just come out that is not Paul W.S. Anderson. It looks like it's actually spookier, like horror based stuff. But at the same time, it's I hate the trailers for scary movies that are just like quick cuts and like zooming things towards the camera and like it's kind of jumpy, disjointed stuff. Like that's editing. That's not how the movie's gonna look, guys. Come on. So, Silent Hill, I do legitimately enjoy the first Silent Hill movie, but that's the thing with, like, for example, survival horror movies survival horror games work so well as games because the tension is from the fact that you are holding the controller and it is your decision whether or not you walk around that corner or not, Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah. Like you, especially in the old school ones where you hear something off screen and you're like, something's around there. If I walk around there, it's definitely going to get me, but I don't know what it is. And then, like, you walk around the corner, it turns out it's the tree brushing against the gate or something. Like, I think in one of the Resident Evil games, there was some noise like that you're like, something's around the corner, something's going to kill me, something's going to kill me. You go around the corner, like, oh, there's nothing there. Oh, that's good. Pick up something, go back around the corner, a dog gets you, basically, or something. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like, really mess with your head.
Jump scares in movies do not a survival horror movie-based game make. Game.
Yeah.
I just don't think it needs to happen. If it's done well, then cool. If it's done outside of the main, I guess do it if it's not telling the same story that's been told.
Right, okay. What do you think? I know Witcher actually starts out as books. What do you think of the Witcher TV show? Did you actually watch that at all? Or
I don't give two craps about it because I don't care about medieval stuff, so I don't even care to watch it. Yeah, sorry.
That's one of my favorite sort of fancy things. Medieval style stuff, and magic, and
that's
jazz.
fine. I've heard it's good. I'll never sit down with it because I just don't care about that setting. Same reason I'll never watch Game of Thrones. Sorry, folks.
Okay,
I'm a fake nerd.
So, keeping on the Amazon things, one of the things I talked about in the interview was the Lord of the Rings show. Are you going to watch that?
Nah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I fell asleep during each one of those movies when I saw them in theaters.
I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Lord of the Rings. I think they're fine. I'm just not as invested in them as other people are.
You just can't say that around Chris Powell. I'm going to call him out right now. He makes a Lord of the Rings reference daily. Just like, Lord Vladimir throws it into the volcano. Yep. Which is fine. That's cool that his family loves those so much that they can just sit down and watch them and stop everything. But that'll never be my family. Not in my house.
I'm controversial. No. I prefer the Hobbit movies, and people seem to think I'm stupid for that, which is fine.
I haven't even seen them.
Oh, yeah. I just thought they were way more entertaining than the Lord of the Rings ones. They didn't seem to be as serious.
I mean, I could sit down and watch any sci-fi thing though, like anything at all that is sci-fi. I will give it a shot. But medieval stuff, somebody's got to tell me or sit down with me and watch it because it's like, meh.
Yeah.
The closest thing I get to medieval that I enjoy would be the Zelda games, probably.
Okay. Have you played like Skyrim or Oblivion or any of the Elder Scrolls games?
No. I tried Oblivion. I don't even remember which one I tried, but Fallout I played the hell out of. I loved it. Well, I love 3, and I hit a wall with 4, but I enjoyed it up until that point a lot. So
yeah. I see. With me, I played Fallout 3, and I was like enjoying it, but I felt I basically finished the game. I did most of the side missions, finished the game and everything, and I was just like, I don't know if I love this game at all. And I went back to play Oblivion. I was like, oh yeah, this is my jam. Like I prefer the missions, I prefer the story structure, everything about it. I just preferred. So yeah, I appreciate Fallout, but yeah. Anyway, with different opinions. This here is what we call a difference of opinion, folks. Didn't see that much on the internet. Yep.
No, everyone agrees on the internet.
Oh man. So I think with that pretty much wraps up the news and basically wraps up the show.
We're out of here. I talk a lot, so I'm sorry everybody, it's extended this week.
Yeah. Just one last thing. Avuli said, I'm pretty sure this was to do with the ToeJam Earl arcade machine. He said, that's neat. And I think that's all we can say about it, really. Yeah, that's the best reaction you can have. But yeah, have we got any news at all, Scotty, magazine-wise or anything like that?
No,
or...
I mean, we mentioned the Black Friday sale. That's going on. You know, of course, pickup issue number 1, the reboot, that's out. Graham and I both wrote stuff in it. And the upcoming issue, we've got the flat plan. We're figuring stuff out to throw in there. I mean, we've got it planned out. I don't say what it's like. We're in go mode for issue 2. Bunch of stuff coming up on the YouTube page. We're planning things for that. We've got on the horizon. You know, we've got streams a good bit throughout the week. So the best place to keep an eye on all that is on our Twitter, or again, join the Discord, which is where you'll get alerts of when we are going live and such. And I'll throw that link in there real quick. Otherwise, let me see real quick if I've got anyone we could raid. What games were we talking about? See if anybody's playing Spider-Man. Yeah, that's about everything that's going on with me. I don't really have. Again, I'm taking a break from streaming because just so much shit's going on with work. But yeah,
nice. Yeah. So yeah,
anything from you, sir?
I was just going to say, while you're doing that, yeah, if you're new to us, be sure to check us out on all the various social medias. Yeah, we're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We've got our website, so megavisions.net. Is our main website where we put up daily news. The news team's pretty much kicking ass. We cover mostly Sega stuff, but there's a lot of other stuff we're looking at as well. You know, indie stuff, other industry news as well out there. There's a bit of everything for you for your gaming needs. But yeah, with that, Scotty, is there anyone out there playing anything good? Or
a lot of people are playing Spider-Man, but I don't see. Oh boy, this is harder than I meant for it to be. Tell me a game that you're playing right now, Graham.
Game that I'm playing right now. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I haven't actually been playing a game lately, other than Home Alone that we played earlier. Damn it.
Who the hell's playing Home Alone?
Let's check that out. See more Home Alone, because that game is awesome. Shit, what game have I been playing recently? I mean, Monkey Ball. I've been playing that a bit on the Switch. Even though I keep getting
only us. We are the only ones playing Home Alone right now.
Damn it! It's probably too early. It's not quite Christmas yet. Give it a week. Yeah, everyone's gonna be playing that jam. You know. What else is out?
Banana Mania. Let's see if anybody's playing that. Okay. I found somebody.
Lovely.
Let's make sure that they are. Okay, yeah, they've probably only been going for a little bit here. So we're going to raid the Loco Croco, who's playing... Oops, that's wrong. They are playing Banana Mania right now, folks, so go hang out with them. Otherwise, I've been Scotty Moe, and this is Graham.
Yep, and we are Megavisions. So, yeah.
Be safe out there if you're shopping. Yeah. Have a good weekend.
Have a good Black Friday. Be excellent to each other. Catch you later.
See. Honey, I gotta tell you about this sandwich.